Okay. View request. Go live. We're waiting for Sarah to join. This is why I don't do lives, because things like go technically
Hi.
wrong. Hey, you're here. Hello, hello,
Yay!
hello.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. Let me just turn you up a bit. You can hear me, yeah?
I can hear you okay, yeah? Can you
Fab.
hear me?
Yes, I
Great.
can. You look great as always.
Oh, thank
You're a
you.
stylist. I guess the pressure's on, isn't it?
You can't see much of me though. I thought I'd set up my camera, but hey.
Yeah, just got
Getting
like
the technical stuff.
a
Oh
neck
yeah.
up.
Look, I've got a detail around my neck.
Oh, good. Just got to make the most of that space that you've got there.
Yeah.
How are you?
Cushion. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good actually. I'm in Spain at the moment, and
Lovely.
yeah, just enjoying being out of London for a while. So
Yeah.
yes, but I do miss it. So I'm looking forward to come back at some point soon.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite the same when nothing's open, but hey,
No,
we'll get there.
I don't miss
Woo,
lockdown. I
sure.
don't miss lockdown in London. I did that. It's yeah, but it's coming to an end tomorrow, apparently.
I know. Yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
I'm full on shopping after that with people.
Yeah, I can imagine you're really busy. So yes, so Sarah is from Sartoria Lab, and I'm very excited to talk to you today. I've got some questions from clients and stuff like that. But before I
Cool.
started, I just thought it'd be really good to hear what Sartoria Lab does. So I know you focus on styling, shopping, and wardrobe management, which I really like. I was kind of like, God, I need wardrobe management. Like my wardrobe is basically a floordrobe, So I like the sound of that.
That.
I know. So yeah, tell us a bit about Sartoria Lab and when you set it up.
So I set it up in 2009.
Yeah.
So I'd been working for a couple of other companies doing styling a lot with women actually. But
Okay.
before that, I used to work on photo shoots actually. I don't know if you
Yes,
knew that.
I did
Uh,
actually. And you've worked with some
yeah.
famous people. You
Oh,
and
I have a few. Yeah.
you and McGregor. I was like, oh damn, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Kissed me on the cheek.
oh
Very exciting.
nice. That is
Yes,
nice.
Chris Moyles, difficult to shop
Chris
with. Didn't like
Moyles, he's
shopping.
the DJ, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Was he a
Yeah, yeah.
challenge?
Yes, he was. He just hates shopping. That
Yeah.
was the most challenging thing. He absolutely hates shopping. And because he was really big then, it was kind of quite difficult.
Yeah.
So,
Don't most men
yeah.
hate shopping?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I set up,
Yeah.
and so I'd been working with women, and I thought, do you know what? So many guys, they absolutely hate shopping. So what do? They don't go shopping or they leave it till the absolute last minute.
Yeah.
And I thought, they're the ones that need help,
Yeah.
probably not the women that will go shopping with their girlfriends. So I set up in 2009
Yeah.
and I decided to focus solely on men because there was hardly anyone doing it. And to be honest, there's still not that many stylists just for men.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and it's really nice to be able to help them and help them solve that problem. And they shop differently to women. So I will either do a colour and style analysis. So I'll go to their house and we'll look at their colours, which I think we might talk about a bit more in a minute.
Yeah, that's really, yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, look at what colours suit them because that can make an immediate difference.
Yeah,
And
I've
also
heard
talk
that.
about
Yeah.
what shapes suit them, and also
Yeah.
a little bit about kind of what their sort of, I call it style personality, but it's kind of like
Hmm.
what they aspire to look like because that's really important. You could
Oh,
put someone in
yeah.
an amazing outfit, looks great, but actually they're just not feeling it. It's just not them. So I
Yeah.
think it's important to sort of tap into what they want to look like, and then sort of just kind of point out the
Work back
details
from
of how
that.
you achieve. Yeah. So
Oh, I
and
like
then
that.
yeah, that's the fun part actually, and
Yeah.
that comes quite a lot from them as well. And then it's just up to me to sort of dissect a bit what they're saying. And then we go sometimes I go through their wardrobe and we either chuck stuff out,
Yeah.
dated, or they half the time they know it is, they just need a helping hand. So we either do that, or sometimes there's a few guys, not very many I have to say, but
Yeah.
there's a few that have loads and loads in their wardrobe and they just don't know what combinations to put together.
Yeah.
So then we'll go through and put different combinations together, take photographs of it, which I send to them afterwards.
Yeah.
Or otherwise, if there's gaps in that, or if they really need to start again, we go shopping.
Brilliant.
So yeah, and then
That
I
sounds
go
like
and
it's a really fun job, actually. I really like the
it
sound of
is.
that. Like you're basically having
It's
a
very
nose
classic.
through people's wardrobes and then
Yeah.
and then kind of enhancing them to look like, you know, what they aspire to look like. I mean, that's,
yeah. I mean, it's kind of fun when you can see, you know, I can sort of see, oh, I just think they look so much better if they wore this.
Yeah, I
and
bet
then
you can.
shopping, and then they come out of the changing room like, yes, they did.
Oh, that must be
They
like
did.
amazing.
I'm
See,
hearing that they get compliments afterwards.
yeah.
So
Do you take them on like kind of a journey then, like where they start and they're in despair and then they end up and it's like, yay.
well, I would say it's not so much like that massive kind of, oh my God, you know, that sort of Trinny and Susanna thing. Oh my God, you look so bad. I'm going to make you look amazing. It could be just quite small tweaks, because for guys, sometimes it's a bit more subtle.
Yeah.
So it could just be small things like maybe, you know, going a bit narrower on their trousers, or adding a bit more color, or adding a few accessories. So it's not like major stuff, but it does make quite a bit of a difference.
Yeah, which I guess regular people don't know that, you know, that small tweaks can have a huge impact.
Yeah, exactly. And if you haven't been shopping for a while, you know, you sort of get to the point where you just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
So you're just confused by all the choice, and it's just having someone to narrow it down for you just massively
I think
helps.
that's going to come up as a question later as well. So that's going to be really good. That's obviously a universal issue as well. Brilliant. Yeah. And so you've been going since 2009. Wow. Okay, that's good. That's even longer than Hey Saturday. So,
oh wow, really?
Yeah, it's 2013, which I feel is getting quite old now. It's kind of like we're a well-established company, but you are as well. It's kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you see companies come and go a lot, and it's kind of cool to be ones that stick around. So but there's always going to be a need for what you do, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, and I've been doing some online stuff as well.
I was going to say, how's lockdown going? I guess it's something that you can visually see their wardrobe on, you know, on House Party or whatever, can't you?
Yeah, so I was doing something with a German guy actually that I met through the Hayley Quinn Academy actually.
Oh yeah.
So,
oh brilliant.
So he can't come over at the moment, obviously.
Yeah.
I think he might do next year or something. But we ordered some stuff. I went through a website that he suggested because the shop is near him.
Yeah.
So I went through the website, picked things out.
Yeah.
He ordered them to the shop. Then we did like a live Skype session while he tried them on.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant. Worked really well.
That's so good that you've been able to trial it with him, and then you can start offering that if you need to, working internationally.
Yeah.
But
and sometimes it's just a chat, or sometimes they'll send me pictures of their clothes and say, well, what can I wear this with? And then I can send a few more suggestions. And so, there's kind of a few options really. And it does work quite well, really, online.
Yeah.
And I sorted out somebody with a suit recently because he just tried on his suit and he realised it didn't fit. Luckily, he tried it on in time.
Oh, God.
And he's got his daughter's communion coming up. So I sorted him out, and a tailor went to his house and sorted him out.
Wow.
And I've got a coat to put over the top.
Oh, fantastic. So, That's great. And do you get guys asking about dating photos much? Or like about sorry, not dating photos, about going on dates, I guess. Like, you must get guys going, I want to start dating, help me. Yeah.
That's probably one of the sort of the triggers, I suppose, for people wanting a new wardrobe if they've got divorced or whatever, unfortunately. But they sort of suddenly start thinking again.
Yeah, think, I need to, when you've been married for a while, you go into a kind of slump, don't you? Or just in a relation, you have to be married, just in a relationship. It's like, oh my God, is this all I've got? Okay, I need to up my game. So talking of that, I've got some questions came in because I obviously promote this online. So some guys got in touch. They actually all wanted to be anonymous. I don't know why, but
really?
but they know who they are when I read out the questions. So the first one comes from a guy who says, "Hey Sarah, I have a bit of a gut. What can I wear to minimize how it looks on camera?" And then he also goes on to say, but I've started working with a personal trainer, so I'm hoping by the time the dates start rolling in, I'll be on the way to a 6-pack, or at the very least a 4-pack. So, that's something that's, that's how to look good when you're not totally happy, not totally feeling body confident is, quite a universal thing, I think.
I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's quite common. And I'm not one for promoting, go and do some diet and exercise. I'm just like, well, we take what we've got and we'll make the most of that. So main things that I would say are to put lighter colours and detail at the top. So it's kind of like the attention is going to your face and away from your gut. So actually this did come up with another guy on the academy that when I was just working with Hayley, and he had a jacket and it had like a sort of gold kind of bit of, it was quite a sporty jacket. It had a goldy kind of colour here, and then the rest of it darker, which is perfect because your eye goes to the lighter colour. So even if it is a shirt with like in a, say, a pale pink or something with, say, a burgundy, dark burgundy jumper over the top or cardigan or something, then you've got the darker colour there, and the attention is kind of tends to be drawn to that lighter colour. So that's one thing. The colours you can do, or a bit of detail. So if you've got an interesting neckline or a scarf or something, people are going to look at that rather than, and then if you keep everything else going sort of, it's quite simple, that's going over your tummy. So steer away from things like quite often I'll sort of recommend, you know, maybe an interesting belt or something to add a little bit of detail. But in this case, I would avoid that, and I'd go for more, scarves.
Interesting up top, sort of,
Yeah, maybe a pocket square if you're going for a blazer, or maybe even just a button-down shirt, or maybe a contrast sort of neckline, those sort of things. Or like Paul Smith does a navy sweater, and it's got like that sort of his stripes, his signature stripe. It's got the stripe around the neckline.
Around the that's a really good idea. I like that. Oh, very
Stay
cool.
away from things like, just be careful with jackets, because if you're shooting in winter, likely to wearing a jacket. Try and look for things that don't have big bulky pockets, especially if there's no pockets on your chest area, and then it's got great big bulky pockets, which if I know anything guys, they're going to be putting lots of stuff into as well. And then that just adds bulk to that area. So if you need to go streamline, yeah, exactly. When you look at someone, you're looking them up and down. So if you can continue looking up and down over your tummy and creating vertical lines, that's what you want to do. So something like if you can find a jacket that's got pockets here, and then it's just got, you know, sometimes you just get those kind of vertical pockets so you can put your hands in from the side. That sort of thing, better, or no pockets, just something simpler.
Okay, and then what sort of length? Like, should you go a bit longer, so then?
Well, a bit longer, so you're kind of, I suppose it depends how tall you are, and it depends on all your proportions, I think. But I'd say a little bit longer, then your eye will stop where you start to go back in again, which would be your sort of legs and thigh. Then your eye will kind of stop there, rather than if you've got kind of like quite a short jacket that stops just under your tummy. It might be a little bit too much, too close, too close for comfort. So I would say that's the sort of thing I would look out for someone with a tummy. I just also, if you've got shirts in your wardrobe, I would do the sitting down test, especially if you haven't tried them on for a while.
That's a good tip.
If sometimes they look fine when you're standing up, and then when you sit down, which you might be like, yes, let's find this nice cafe, sit over there, or sit
absolutely.
Like, oh my god, it's really pulling over my tummy. So just do the sitting down test.
I have to do the sitting down test, so and definitely if you're going to be on camera, it's all about the sitting down test.
But
I like that.
Thing is, I wouldn't go like sort of hugely oversized, because then I think that can actually make you look bigger than you are. So maybe just look for like a straighter cut rather than a slim cut. But don't go hugely oversized, because it just
we always say
like covering something up.
We always say like avoid like clothes that are too big and too small, like too tight, too baggy. And I think when you are slightly bigger, and you know, I often think that way as well, because I am slightly bigger, your kind of tendency is to go, okay, if I'm going to be on camera, I want to go like baggy so no one can see, and it's the worst thing to do, and it just it just looks awful on camera. You need to go like just slim, you know, just skimming, you know.
Skimming,
kind of,
skimming is a good word.
Skimming and shaped, I think.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
If the clothes are shaped, then you know, you can get away with not being shaped yourself underneath.
Yeah. So. They're doing the work for you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. So our next question, again, anonymous, I think. He says, so I want to book a Hey Saturday shoot, and I know Hey Saturday recommends wearing bold colours if possible, which we do. We love bold colours.
Yeah.
And I want to start introducing more color into my outfits because I mainly wear neutrals at the moment, but I'm ready for a change. But I don't know what suits me or where to start. Please help, Sarah.
Please help. Well,
Please
it's quite
help.
common. Guys just to wear neutrals. I've seen
Yeah.
hundreds of wardrobes with just neutrals. And
Yes.
you know, quite often when you go into a shop as well, you're like, oh, okay, a sea of navy and grey here. And move on.
And it's always really interesting when you see a guy wearing bright color, because I sign off all our Hey Saturday photo shoots. As soon as I see a guy in like a really stunning pink shirt or something, I'm just all over that. I'm like, oh my God, I love that so much. It's kind of bold and brave and you're just owning it. And, you know, so I love it when they go there, but it's quite rare. Yeah.
I think it really makes him stand out, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It really helps.
And it works so well for photos. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you can always book a colour and style consultation with me, number one. But failing that, I think there's a few colours that you can wear. I've got some here because I prepared ahead. I don't know how well you can see this on a screen. There's a few colours that I think are fairly universal. So if you're trying to work out what colours suit you, I would try and decide, first of all, if you're warm or cool. So whether you suit like more yellowy kind of base colours.
So
like
you talk about like skin tone? Like, does your skin tone,
can be eye colour, can be your hair. So if you've got red hair, you're more likely to suit warm colours because your hair colour is warm. So and then skin colour is quite a lot, and then eye colour. So I've got quite a blue tone to my skin because I've got quite a pinky sort of look to me. So I suit much cooler colours, which is more blues and pinks and purples and all those types of things.
And what about me?
Well, I think you're probably a bit warmer because you've got more of a warm glow to your skin, haven't you? I'm trying to think what colours I've seen you in now.
Yeah, I'm like always in black, really. I'm a bit nervy of colour, but I think I look good in red, probably. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But maybe like
yellow,
orange.
I've never tried.
Oh, okay. So you're telling people to wear a bold colour and you're not wearing it?
Yeah, but I always fess up and say to them that I don't wear it, and I would be more the sort of person to get colour in my background than rely on it myself. But but I do. Yeah, I'm like this guy. I want to get more bold in my old age.
Yeah, so I think, and the other thing is if you've got quite muted sort of colouring, so if you don't have a lot of contrast between the skin and hair, so you might have like mid-brown hair, sort of maybe even olive skin. So if you've got quite an olive skin tone, it's not always, but it's quite often it's warmer.
Yeah.
And you don't have much contrast, then you look better in sort of slightly softer colours. But there's a few universal colours, let me show you, that I think look good on most people. So I would probably start with something like this because it's just easier to incorporate into your wardrobe and it goes with lots of things. So quite often I would go burgundy, which I've got on, but you can't see. So something along the lines of
burgundy.
So it's not super bright, but it's adding a bit of colour.
I like that. A subtle colour.
Yeah, you can either wear that, you can put it with like pale pink, or you could put it with brown, depending on what else you've got. You put it with black, goes really well with navy. So lots of colours you can put that with. So it's introducing a little bit of colour. I also think this sort of like a dark purple is quite good. Looks a bit brighter there. It's fairly dark. So like a sort of the colour of...
I like that.
Well, I would call it aubergine, but actually aubergines are a bit darker, aren't they? But like a darkish purple. I think that colour...
That's quite bright. That's quite bold, actually.
Do you think so?
Purple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be in the warmer muted, but I would wear that colour. I think it sort of still suits me. And also, even if you've got like blonde hair and light skin and stuff, that you still look good in that. So I think that's a good overall colour.
Okay. Then I might try that.
I think... So this is another good, so I'll go in between. So like this sort of tealy blue. So it's not a million miles.
I like
from your sort of navies and stuff, but it's maybe you could go, that one's slightly brighter, that one's more of a peacocky sort of blue. But it's just a way of adding.
That's really nice.
And then it goes with grey, black, navy. So it's easy to incorporate into your wardrobe. The other one's a bit braver.
Go on.
This one, it's sort of like, it's called periwinkle. So it's kind of in between a purple and a blue. I don't know how well it shows up on here.
That's nice. I don't think I'd wear something like that, but I really like it as a colour, and I would love that in dating photos. That would work really well.
Yeah, and it's a bit harder to find that colour as well.
Yeah.
And the other one is, have I got something like this kind of corally colour?
Yeah,
So it's
that's lovely.
almost in between pink and orange, I suppose you would say.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, it's not like a dusty pink or a bright pink. It's not very cool and it's not very, very warm. So I would say
It
they're
suits
quite
most people.
universal. But
Yeah, so
the first three, those ones, burgundy, that one. Oh, the other one actually, which I didn't get, is like a dark piney sort of green. I think that looks good on a lot of people.
oh yeah. Yeah, that's a lovely colour
Yeah,
as well. That's quite a lot to choose from then. So that's enough to get someone
yeah.
started, isn't it? And I suppose
So
if
I
they're like
guess,
wearing like shirts or t-shirts, that kind of thing in those colours.
yeah,
So it's not like
yeah.
it's gonna
The
like
hardest,
impact, overpower them or anything. If they're feeling a bit unsure, it's like a
yeah, exactly. I think they're
something
sort of
simple.
subtle, but
Yeah.
slightly different. And there's another one that you can get, which actually I think Uniqlo do a sweater in it. It's like a Prussian blue, which is a bit brighter than navy, but it's not like super bright blue.
Yeah.
So that's another good one. So there's a few that I think are kind of easier to incorporate into your wardrobe.
Oh,
And
that's
the other thing I
brilliant.
would say is maybe go, it's probably easier to have that in knitwear and t-shirts and maybe casual sort of puffery style, sporty type jackets or hoodies or something like that. If you're going for a shirt, I mean, you could probably get one in that burgundy
Yeah.
or maybe that one, but it's possibly better to have it look with a little bit of pattern in it as well, or like a gingham or something. So
Yeah.
it sort of breaks up. Otherwise, a plain shirt, like a solid plain cotton shirt, might look a bit weird in one of those colours, especially that one. So probably not. You're probably not going to get a shirt in that colour. So yeah, just some things to think about. But if you can try and work out if you're warm or cool. So
Okay.
um, trying to think of what the best way. I don't suppose you have a bit of. It's best if you can hold silver and gold up against you. That's a good way. If you've got good
Yes.
gold, it's
Yes.
warm.
So yeah, photographers, for example, use reflectors, and
Yeah,
so yeah, you know whether someone's going to look better in silver. And I would say as a rule of thumb, like maybe the darker the skin tone, the golder we might go,
yeah. I
I
think
think.
that would. It generally works. Yeah, because you've got probably a
Not
slightly
always, but
warmer.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
definitely,
warm gold. Yeah, it's hard to you can't really generalize, I suppose,
no.
which is the great thing. But yeah, it's but I suppose now the shops are open again. If you can maybe just go and have a look. If you go, well, my default would be navy. Maybe just try something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone and put a
Mm.
few different colors against your face to compare them. And what you're looking for is if it makes your eyes look brighter. You don't want
Yes.
shadows under your eyes or kind of around
But they
here.
need to make you, yeah, glow.
Yeah, sort of glow and some sort of throw light onto your face. Or sometimes it can make you look washed out. It's just trying to kind of it's quite it can be hard to see it on yourself actually, I have to say.
Yeah,
But
so take a friend
I think
maybe.
yeah, but I think yeah, maybe just experiment a little bit more than you would normally. Or ask a
Yes.
friend as well, actually.
Yeah. But experimenting's the way forward, really, isn't it? I think.
Well, it is. Yeah, I know that doesn't help that much, but yeah.
Okay, and then I've got a question. Okay, so this guy said, again, he's anonymous. He said he preferred to be. He said, my wardrobe is embarrassing. So maybe that's why he's going anonymous. Um, it's embarrassing. And as I read that, I thought, I can relate, mate. So he says, I want to start dating again, so I need to update it. I haven't bought anything new this year at all, really, because of lockdown, I guess, and like everything
Yeah.
that's been happening this year. He's not
Mhm.
kind of gone out. But he's up for buying a couple of new things, like in the next month or so. So any tips, and he wants to get them for his photo shoot, preferably. Anyway, any tips on where to start for somebody who's basically had a year off and he wants to make an
It's
impression online, and obviously you don't know what he looks like or anything because he's anonymous. So
No. So I guess, well, the easiest way to answer, I would probably go for reasonably classic stuff that's going to look good on most people. So something like a button and things that you can dress up and down as well. So it makes it versatile.
yeah,
So I'd go for something like maybe a button-down shirt, pale blue, maybe a pale pink if you think you look good in that, or maybe one of those darker colours. some sort of
And a
lightweight
button-down shirt, that's like American, isn't it? Like, that's just a
well,
button with a collar, a shirt with a collar
yeah,
and buttons. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is quite American, but then
yeah.
lots of people,
Is
yeah, there's
that
loads,
what people call it?
mostly
Okay, so
a bit more
for
casual.
guys who may think like, what is she talking about? It's like a shirt, isn't it? Yeah.
No, no, good to define it. I forget sometimes what
Yeah,
people might know.
yeah.
Yeah.
People who
So pale blue or something like a chambray, which is like that very lightweight
oh
sort of
yeah,
denim. Looks a bit
like
like that.
denim sort of.
That'd be
Yeah.
quite good. Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
That is
something
really
like
nice and
maybe
classic with a white t-shirt underneath. I really like
you
that
could put
vibe.
white t-shirt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could do. But that I think you can do either. You could put white t-shirt. You could leave it open, have
Yeah,
it casual, maybe have, or you could wear a blazer over the top, have it done up a bit more.
yeah.
So I think it can kind of go either way. You could wear it under a sweater. So it can do. You can do a few things with that.
And
Dress it up.
that's really good because in dating photo shoots we are out shooting on the street and we don't have a lot of
Yeah.
time, and so layering is actually really important. So yeah, so being able to take your jacket off and you've got a look, and then take your jumper off and you've got another look is ideal,
exactly.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would work well. And then something like some lightweight-ish knitwear. So it's not like, so you can wear it all year round. So it's not super heavy, it's not chunky, but it's not like sort of cotton. But it could be just like a lightweight merino wool. And then you can wear, again, you could wear it. It needs to be sort of thick enough so you don't see the buttons, or not too tight so you see buttons of a shirt underneath it.
Yeah, true.
But I would just go for a simple crew neck in a sort of plainish knit. So you can wear it over a shirt, but you could also wear it under like a blazer. It's kind of smart enough to wear under a blazer. You could wear it just with a t-shirt, but you could wear it with a casual jacket and a scarf as well.
Yeah.
So again, it's relatively versatile.
Yeah.
And then jacket wise, see, I favour a bit of a pea coat actually, because I love, so you know the double breasted sort of like a naval style jacket.
Yeah.
Usually navy. So it can have epaulettes. It's kind of mid length, sort of usually.
So when you say double breasted, it doesn't do up there, it kind of crosses over.
Yeah, it crosses over and you've got two sets of buttons going down. Yeah. So
is that a pea coat then?
Yeah, that's
okay.
pea coat, yeah. If you think of a sort of outdoor jacket that somebody in the Navy would wear, it's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
A reefer jacket, I think they call them as well. So sometimes they have epaulettes on the shoulders. There are lots of different sort of iterations of it, but I think something like that, again, you can wear it with jeans and chunky boots.
Yeah.
And it looks really cool.
I like that idea.
Even a chunky jumper, but you could also wear it, if it's long enough, you can wear it over a blazer, but you could also wear it over a shirt with smart trousers, and it looks, so it'd be really versatile in your wardrobe.
Yeah.
And for a shoot, you could even wear a hoodie underneath it as a sort of, wear it with trainers, it would look cool, but you could also then maybe put on a shirt and a lightweight sweater and it looks smarter.
Yeah.
Shoes or whatever.
Oh, brilliant.
And then, so something like that for jackets. So it's kind of in betweeny, or even like the single-breasted with like a V-neck, just like a Crombie style coat. So it's just really simple, single-breasted coat.
Yeah. So like down to the knee kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing, I really like that. You can wear that with jeans and trainers and a hoodie underneath, or you can have it much smarter. So I think that's really versatile as well for winter.
Yeah.
Maybe a bomber style jacket would be good, but that's probably going a little bit more into summer, a bit shorter, but I think that's not as, I feel like that's not quite as universal as the other ones. But and then shoe wise, I'd go for something again that I think is really universal and easy to put smart or casual, is chocker boots, which are kind of like a,
what did you call them?
Chocker boots.
Chocker.
So they're like desert, but do you know what desert boots look
like? I know desert boots. Yeah.
So they're like desert boots, but they usually don't have that crepe sole. They usually have a more of a solid sole, and but they've just got, usually they've got 2 or 3 kind of eyelets for the lacing. So they don't go right up, sort of like an ankle boot. They're not that high up.
Yeah.
Like a smarter version of a desert boot.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Oh, that sounds
and
cool.
that's good.
Yeah.
Go jeans, goes a bit smarter as well. So I think that sort of thing is good.
Yeah.
As well. So I'd probably start with some sort of fairly classic pieces. Oh, and then trouser wise, I'd probably go dark slim jeans or maybe chinos, navy chinos. I think they're sort of pretty you know,
Go
classic,
with
easy
lots
to,
of things. Sort of.
yeah. So you kind of have your capsule wardrobe, and then you sort of build on it from there.
Yeah.
And then you can add a bit of personality with, you know, if you really like, if you're a real trainer wearer, then wear some really bright trainers, or add
Oh, I
scarves
like that.
or hats, and yeah. So you can add a bit of personality with accessories, but if you start with something quite basic like that, then it goes with a variety of things.
Yeah. Can I just ask about accessories since you mentioned it? So, what
Yeah.
sort of accessories could guys be wearing to add some personality to their photos?
Well, so I'm a
Especially if
massive
they're
fan of.
like, sorry,
No, go on. What are you going to say?
especially if it might not be something that's even been on their radar, and it's like, and there's Hey Saturday's going and bring some color into it. So maybe accessories is a way that they could do that if they're, not feeling brave enough to buy an outfit that's colorful.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Well, I'm a massive fan of scarves
Yeah.
because I just think it's so easy. And quite often I will go. I think most women probably have quite a few scarves. I
Hmm.
mean, maybe, I don't know. I have loads.
Yeah, no,
And,
I
you
have
know,
loads.
yeah,
And are
they
you talking about like winter scarves or just all year?
winter scarves.
Yeah,
Well, all year round, but
yeah,
yeah, at the moment I'd say winter
winter,
scarves.
yeah.
But what I find is you go into a guy's wardrobe and they're like, "Oh yeah, I have this scarf when it's cold," and you're like, "But you can have another scarf in your wardrobe, you know, to go with a different outfit and to give it a different look." So I kind of think that's like super easy. Is
Yeah.
just go and get a really cool striped scarf, or I've got lots on my blog actually at the moment. Those sort of degradé ones it changes colour, but very subtly. I just did a
Ah,
blog post
brilliant.
on that.
Oh, I like
So
that. Yeah.
I think,
And
and that sort
scarves
of
would
thing.
work so well in their profile photos. Like if they're wearing a black coat or
Yeah,
something, but you add a red scarf or something, boom,
yeah,
that's
super
great.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, one of the questions that I got asked, again through Hayley's Academy, it's very, very interesting doing that. Get asked all sorts of questions. Um, was what did I think of football scarves, and did I think that
Oh,
that showed
that's
personality?
interesting. I want to know what
Yeah.
you're going to say on this.
Well, I said no. That might be because I'm not into football, but as a
No,
woman,
I
feel
don't like them at all. In
yeah.
fact, it would put me off.
Well,
It would put me off a guy.
yeah, so I think it would say to me, I'm sure he's not a football hooligan by any means, but it would sort of, I would just think no. And I
Mm,
did a little survey actually a couple of years ago with
yeah.
Ray Fox
Oh
actually,
yeah.
and we were asking a few women what they liked, and every one of them, I think, mentioned accessories, but nobody said a football scarf. So I think no to football scarves.
No.
There's so many other ones. You don't need to spend loads of money. You can go to John Lewis. You can probably go to Zara. There's loads of different ones. You can, you can go to Liberty and get more expensive. But there's so many out there that I just think then it adds a bit of colour. So yeah, why wouldn't you?
Absolutely. No, I love that. And what other
Okay,
accessories?
so I mentioned belts earlier. So I
Yes.
think that comes into its own a little bit more in summer as well,
Yeah.
because if you've just got a t-shirt and a pair of jeans or a pair of chinos, if you have that little flash of a belt, if they're you might not see it because they might not have got stuff tucked in. That can add. So I quite like the Andersons ones, and I've just discovered a
Mm.
new company which I will post about actually.
Yeah.
And I totally can't remember what it's called
So you
right
need
now.
to
But anyway,
follow
I will post
Sarah. You need to follow Sarah for all these
it.
tips.
Yeah.
Get the lowdown.
They're sort of the woven ones, so they're plaited, but they've got lots of different colours in them. So they kind of make it
Oh,
a bit more interesting. The other
yeah.
person that has quite good belts actually is Ted Baker, has some quite interesting ones, and they're quite often reversible. So you get a couple of different
Oh,
colours, or
yeah.
one side's plain,
That's
one
getting your
side's
money's worth.
striped.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah, I do as well. Something versatile. I like that too.
Mm.
So I think you could do that. That's probably a little bit more of a summery thing.
I like big bold buckles with like silver buckle type thing, but that probably says a
Do
lot
you?
about me. Yeah. But
Me
like
too.
biker boots and stuff like that. But
Yeah, it's a bit more rock and roll.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. So that's a different sort of look, isn't it?
Yeah, it's completely
Um,
different.
I mean, hats. I think hats can
Yeah,
can be
hats are
cool.
great
Beanie
actually.
hat, yeah, for casual, maybe in a colour as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we get occasionally we'll get clients who really like have some really interesting hats, and it kind of makes my day because they're really giving out a message about who they are and that they're kind of confident and like it's I just really love it when they get bring out the interesting hats. And you know, they can, and you can use it as like a prop in your photo, and like tip your hat or whatever, or just holding it. So I like, you know, I like those kind of the ones with like well, the kind of more formal style. I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah, like a
Like
fedora
Stetson, or yeah. So there's some really, I think there's some really fabulous hats for people who are brave enough.
Yeah, I think some people just don't feel brave enough, but I
No.
think it can make, I think if you are, then it can make a big difference.
And
then
beanie hats, you don't need to be brave for that. And that can make that adds a lot. It just changes the vibe of a photo. So it's kind of, it's a really nice one. And it's always good in your set of profile photos to have some wintry looking ones and some kind of summer ones to do the whole.
Yeah.
So they're good for the like wintry ones.
Yeah. And then also I think you can, well, you've got glasses on, and you've got big, bold glasses, which is the whole thing about I remember saying to you, everything's so bold and brilliant, and it's so seamless, your whole kind of, everything about you and your website and your posts on Instagram.
Do you know what? It's one of our brand values, so I'm glad you're reflecting that back.
Yes.
That's brilliant.
And so I really like that. So I think you can, I mean, and if you're wearing glasses all the time as well, I think it's really important to update them and get ones that suit you. And again, I get asked about that quite a lot because people find it difficult.
That's a really good point, actually. I mean, because I update my glasses every year, but that's because my eyesight, I've got like cataracts and stuff in my eyes, so it's like that I have to. But actually, it does mean I get a fresh new pair every year, and you know, you want to change. So I think that's a really good point, actually. And using them as a fashion accessory or as something that says more about who you are. So I think that's kind of really key. I mean, I've got Ray-Ban glasses, which I think kind of goes with my vibe. So I'm keeping it on brand.
Yes, on brand. Well, I spoke to a guy once, and I spoke to him, I think, because of his glasses. He had on these red, quite out there glasses, and we were at some sort of networking thing. Yeah. And then he was telling me this story that I think he just got divorced, actually. And I think he went with his ex-wife to Paris, so I can't quite remember the story now. But he bought these glasses, and the shop assistant was like, they look amazing. And his wife or girlfriend, whoever she was, or friend, maybe it was just a friend, saying they look amazing. And he said, God, they've changed my life, because everyone comes up and speaks to me. Oh my God,
I love that.
Because he's got these amazing glasses. Yeah.
Do you know what? And that is like amazing if you can bring something like that, like a talking point, into your profile photos. Yeah. You know, you need something like that, and you'll start attracting people. Will just find it easy to connect with you because they want to ask you about them. So that is really good anecdote.
Yeah, he found it.
I love that.
And then it gave him the confidence and everything as well. So
that's such a lovely story. I'm like, changed his life.
I know,
that's
really
so
cool,
great.
Simple.
Yeah.
These sort of things. Yeah, amazing.
But that is exactly the sort of thing that you'd go up to someone and go, oh my God, your glasses are so cool. Where'd you get them? Or whatever. It's exactly that sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. I mean, possibly pocket squares, but I don't know how many of your guys are dressing like, that's quite formal. I mean, it can be like,
we do get some, but that's not as many. I would say it's a small percentage of our clients. But when we get clients like that, I really love it. Like the ones who really dress up and go to town. It's who are proper stylish people. I mean, I think it looks amazing. So bring back pocket squares.
Yeah.
We want more of that. Yeah. And is there anything else? Hats? Hats and belts. And...
Well, I think I've seen in your, I suppose it's slightly more of a prop than an accessory though, but it's headphones actually.
Yeah, big fan. Yeah.
I mean, there's loads of different colours and styles around.
Yeah, definitely. I would say women tend to come up with more, like, go for the more colourful ones, but actually guys, it looks so good on camera. So I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Not these old ones, but normally.
Yeah. There's a oh God, what's that brand? I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me. I know there's a really cool brand, and I've often looked at theirs, and I think I might have used them once or twice as a sort of Christmassy gift list or something.
Okay.
But I haven't looked at them. There's a Native Union. That's what it's called.
Native Union. Okay.
Yeah, they do really nice colours and just a really cool style. So you could have something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I love that. And it says something about you, like you invest in music. Music's important to you as well. So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, weren't that into it. Like I probably wouldn't have cool headphones because I do listen to music, but it wouldn't be something that I would want people to know about me necessarily. Not it's not like
A
such an
big,
important part of
yeah.
my life that I need people to know that about me.
Yeah. So, well, talking of that, so I mean, Hey Saturday is all about kind of creating authentic photos that have, well, we're really trying to get as much personality as possible. And obviously,
Yeah.
clothes play a big part in that. But I think sometimes people don't realize that. And but how, you know, have you got any advice for people on how they can approach their shoot so that they can use their clothes to tell their story?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's such an important, and you literally got like seconds. I mean, even they've
Mm.
got, people have always said that you've got a few seconds to make a first impression. It takes a lot longer to undo that. That's even
And
more relevant
online,
now
it's
on
even
video.
less.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
literally got a
So you,
fraction of a second now. It's like, yeah, it's
yeah.
not
So I
long.
think you've really got to show. I think it's really hard sometimes though to see people as other, see yourself as other people see you. So I suppose I would probably maybe ask some friends, which might be a bit scary, but get them to be honest. And then just think about what it is you do want to say to people, and maybe have a look at celebrities maybe
Yeah,
as inspiration.
yeah.
If you can sort of try and recreate a look that they've got, I know that was one of the challenges in that, what Haley's group actually is to try and
Oh,
recreate a look
really? Oh my God, I
like
love that.
yeah. So actually I think that's quite a good one because if you're sort of like yeah that feels like it would represent me, and maybe just to think about what you want people to see. So is it something about your you know your interests, which I'm sure you say this anyway, don't you? Your interests
Yeah,
and sort of bring the skateboard along if that's what you're into, or books, or so that's maybe more props. But then if you think about what sort of clothes would go with
yeah,
that,
yeah,
so are you like super hip casual guy and you kind of cool skate trainers and hoodies, and but then maybe you add a bit of brightness to those because you can go quite bright in that, or are you maybe a little bit more conservative but you're very reliable, and then perhaps your clothes are a bit more conservative and you kind of pay attention to having everything immaculate detail and perfectly fitted and really simple, but actually that's your vibe. It's kind of
yeah,
it's much more simple, understated if that's you, because there's no point in dressing in loud bright colors if that's not you at all.
exactly. Yeah,
So it might be maybe you do add that little bit of like the darker burgundy, but that's as far as you go and you've just
yeah,
got a very subtle approach
yeah.
to it.
So it's kind of
Or
a
maybe you want
balance of knowing what makes you feel comfortable, but also pushing
yeah,
yourself a little bit out your comfort zone to, you know, to
exactly,
show your
yeah.
best sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you want people to think you're a bit more quirky, you know, I was looking at some shoes on for a client actually who's got a new job starting today, and he's it's talking about diversity and in the workplace, and he wants to kind of represent that, but it's quite a corporate environment. But I was looking at these shoes on
Hmm.
Paul Smith website, and they have sort of quite classic shoes, but then they've got like a bright coloured sole or like even a
Oh,
sort of
I
bit of a
love
radio
that.
stripe. And, so there were some really beautiful burgundy ones with like a sort of slightly pink kind of like a trim to them. And I just thought things like
Oh my
that
God, I love that
are
sort of thing.
sort of quite quirky,
Yeah,
but not so
but
like,
in an
oh my God.
understated, yeah,
Yeah,
not in a like,
yeah,
oh my God,
yeah.
people are going to laugh at you as you come in,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
in a like,
exactly. Yeah.
wow, okay, yeah. It
And
kind
it
of,
sort of
to
left
me,
me a
that sort
bit,
of thing,
ah, didn't it?
it makes you, I always, when I see people in that sort of thing, I always think they are confident. It's something about it that makes
Yeah.
they just must be confident people because they're, you know, kind of going a bit out there, doing something a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think if you can kind of establish where you feel safe
Yeah.
and what you
And
feel
then go
is for
beyond
you,
that.
and then push it a little bit further, yeah.
Yeah.
See how you can slightly push it
Leave the
to a
line way back
little bit.
there. Keep going. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, not really. Yeah. No, that's
Without
good.
feeling like you're a person.
Yeah, that's really good advice, actually. Brilliant. And
Yeah.
oh yeah, so just in general, any tips for what to avoid wearing on camera? I think we talked a bit about kind of short
Fit.
jackets and things if you've got a
Yeah.
bit of a gut, but any other kind of tips for what to avoid?
Well, so we were talking about fit really, which I think is sort of crucial on or off camera really, is that fit, because what I find is a lot of guys tend to go bigger because they think it makes them look bigger, whereas actually it has the
Oh,
opposite effect, and they'll have their cuffs kind
yes.
of coming down here,
Yes.
and it sort of, it makes them look like a little boy sometimes.
Like
And
they've got to
also,
grow into their jacket still. Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit like they're sort of overgrown school
Yeah.
blazer type look. So I think attention to details like that, I
Yeah.
think that's important. Um, Obviously, that sort of shows. I think in terms of preparing for it, I always find it easier if you're going to put an outfit together to hold it up and not just look at it like that, but hold it up in front of the mirror,
Yeah.
because you can see then what colours sort of pop out, and sometimes you'll, especially if you're standing back a little bit, some things that kind of recede. You're seeing it a little bit more how you might see it through the camera, what kind of pops out and what recedes.
Yeah.
So I think it's quite good to prepare like that, or maybe take a selfie as well, because it's a whole
Oh,
different
that's a
thing.
good idea. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be careful of things like puffer jackets, which could make you look enormous, and
Yeah.
things with little shape. So if you can go a little bit more streamlined, it's probably a bit more helpful, even if it's casual. I
But
mean, what I try to,
what about if you were a skinny guy and would a puffer jacket just make you look
well,
a bit bigger, or is it?
yeah. So I think actually in that case, it
Mm.
probably is better to go and horizontal stripes and a bit more layering and stuff. Then
Horizontal
that's better
stripes.
to make you, yeah, make you look a bit bigger if you want to look bigger,
Yeah. Because
bulk you out a little bit.
some guys do want to look bulkier and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Then you need to do the opposite of what I was saying earlier, is kind of have lots of horizontal lines.
Mm.
So if that's kind of different layers or changes of color or fabric, so it could be like seams or pocket details. So that sort of thing, that's going to create lots of horizontal lines, maybe a bit more pattern. So then it's kind of breaking up, because when you're looking someone up and down, it's kind of like, oh, it makes them really tall and thin. Whereas if there's something going
Yeah.
across, breaking the line up, then you sort of go, oh, and you start kind of looking side to
Oh,
side.
brilliant, brilliant.
So
Okay,
yeah.
that's smart.
So yeah, I'd say the fit is really important. Maybe
Yeah.
you probably find, I'm sure, that black is harder to get any detail in there. So I'd say probably, if possible, to avoid black, but I know
Mm.
that's quite hard. Or add something
Yeah.
that breaks the black.
Yeah, I think that works. I mean, I like maybe one outfit in black because it can be quite dramatic almost,
Yeah.
and it just creates a vibe, and and especially like women with little kind of black dresses and things like that. But with guys as well,
Yeah.
it kind of creates a
Yeah.
mood. But yeah, you don't want everything black. It's really, yeah, it starts to
Yeah.
get.
That could be a bit dull if all the pictures were like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so even like you say, breaking it up with some color, and I
Yeah.
love the accessories. I'm going to be pushing that for sure, because that's such an easy way. Like if you are like me and you're like terrified of color, it's like, well, you're not going to be terrified of a scarf. Come on, like
Yeah.
or even the sole
There
on
is
the
that.
shoe. I love that. Or bright
Yeah,
colored
yeah.
trainers, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, there's loads of bright trainers around at the moment, isn't there?
mm.
So that's kind of, you could do it like that. It maybe even socks if you're gonna get that. If you're gonna, I mean, obviously you're probably not focusing in on their feet, but you might have
No,
some
but
socks.
yeah. But socks can start going into dodgy territory, can't they? Like the socks
They
that
can a bit, yeah.
your grandma gets you for Christmas sort of thing, and or the ones that you get them at work, like in Secret Santa, and they got like the Simpsons on it. That's not good, is it?
No, no, I'd go somewhere like the London Sock Company.
Yeah,
They have,
okay.
and
Keep it
Felt.
safe.
We were talking socks the other day. Yeah,
Yeah,
they've got nice socks, but they're a bit more subtle. Yeah.
yeah.
Or those sort of, if you're going casual, those kind of like almost like a tweedy sort. Actually, I put some on a post the other day. They're sort of like pinky, orangey, kind of almost like tweedy, flecky sort of style. They're really cool.
Oh,
So a bit more subtle than, yeah, we're not talking Santa socks
good.
or reindeer socks.
Brilliant. So it sounds like you need to get on her website and her blog and have a look. And if everyone
Yeah.
is watching this, because you've obviously got lots of ideas for accessories and stuff on there.
Yeah.
And one last question. I actually have no idea what the time is because it doesn't show on my phone.
No, nor do I
No.
actually.
So I don't know.
Oh, it's probably about 5 to 2.
Oh, we're about to be cut off then. Okay, one last quick question.
Yeah.
One simple sartorial hack that someone can do to stand out. What would that be?
Ooh. What would that be? God, it's really hard to say that.
Say they're just about to leave for their photo shoot, and there's one thing they've got time to just bring or grab.
Just whatever makes them feel most like them.
Love it. Yeah, keeping it authentic. Whoa, very important.
Yeah. So whatever, sort of points to their personality. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Hard to say what one person. Oh, thank you.
I know.
Somebody said that. That's nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, we better wrap it up if we're so out of time. Thank you so much. I didn't know it's going to go on that, you know, the questions for last time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Really appreciate you being on. And I will share this video, and I will include a link to your website. I can't include links, but I can write it down. And please check out Sarah's website for all these tips that will be on there. Lots of ideas. It's been really good. Thank you. And I think my clients who wrote into you are going to be really happy with your answers.
Oh, good. I hope so. Yeah. If they want to ask me questions, you can just DM me. Yeah, and I'll answer them for you.
Oh, amazing. Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for coming on. It's been fun. It's been good to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it?
I know. Good to see you too. Yeah.